What's up, guys? Welcome to Long Island Real Estate with me, Sal Catalano. In this video, we're going to be unpacking one of the most used tools in all of real estate, and that is the Zestimate. So just to be clear, I don't have any beef with Zillow. I think it's a great tool for realtors and consumers for the various ways that each party can use it. I'm actually currently a top agent on Zillow. So no beef. It's a great tool, but is it perfect? It's not. The Zestimate, let's break it down. What is a Zestimate? The Zestimate is Zillow's estimate of what your home is worth. And it's based on a mix of, publicly available data. It takes your, public record stuff, tax records, square footage, comparable sales nearby, your comps, MLS data if it was listed previously, things like that. So all that's fed into a computer model that tries to guess your home's current value. And sometimes it's pretty close. It could be, in the ballpark or even, pretty close to what you actually get, especially if you bought your home recently. So let's just say you purchased your home in 2020. You didn't do any major renovations, but you maintained it. You kept it clean. Your yard's nice. You stayed on top of your repairs, replaced anything that needed to be, replaced. Then your estimate might actually be in the ballpark, and that's because Zillow has a relatively recent data point to work from on, what your house was like and what its value was. And honestly, that scenario in today's market could mean that you're sitting on a ton of equity without knowing it. So that could be its whole other conversation or video. Hit me up and we can discuss that. Other times, though, the Zestimate can be way off. And that, this is when things start to get tricky. The Zestimate can undervalue your home. Which is, great. That's a good conversation for me to have when I'm, speaking to a seller like, hey, your estimate says 500, but I think, we might be closer to 6, or 550, whatever it may be. That's a good kind of conversation to have. When that happens, it doesn't know about updates or renovations, doesn't know about layout quirks or added living space that isn't factored in. It doesn't know the conditions. Zillow's never walked through your house. It doesn't know your kitchen was gutted and redone, or that you converted your garage into an awesome theater room or office or whatever. It has no idea. On the flip side, let's talk about this, because sometimes your estimate's too high, and that's when things really get tricky. And reasons that Zillow, your estimate can overvalue your home, it assumes updates that never happened. It pulls comps from nicer homes in your area that have just similar stats, a 3-bed, 3-bath that's in diamond condition compared to if your home isn't necessarily in that. It doesn't know that if you had a tenant that trashed the basement. It doesn't know that you didn't know that the tub was overflowing and there's water damage up there. And I've seen it happen where, it could be the entire reason where somebody reaches out is because their estimates, comes in really high. It sets the sellers with, these expectations. And then, that's a tough conversation because, they're thinking one thing and the market is actually dictating, something else. So is the Zestimate a bad tool? No, not at all. It's a starting point. It's a great web browsing kind of tool to see, in a ballpark, what a house like yours in your area could, in theory, go for. But it's not the full picture. It's just a educated guess, essentially. So if you're thinking about selling, refinancing, or you just want to know what your home is really worth, let's talk. I love doing that stuff. No obligation or anything. I'll do a full evaluation on your actual home. I'm a real person who knows what he's doing, knows the local markets. I'm not an algorithm. So other than that, thank you guys for watching. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more Long Island real estate insight and, just local Long Island content is what I'm going to try and bring you guys. Also, drop a comment below if you're curious about your estimate. If you're not sure if that's accurate or not, we could talk about that. And I would love to hear from anybody who, has his estimate and then a realtor told them a wildly different number, or if you had a estimate and then your home sold for a wildly different number, whether above or below. I'd love to hear from it. So comment below. And other than that, I will catch you guys on the next video. Take care.